voice in our ears, but the more we race the sound of its tone. There's jumping on knees, feeding our backs, tearing, chewing, we kill all the more. The power and love's what we do.
Hello everyone, I'm Space Wizard Total War. Welcome on into a brand new Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires campaign. This time we'll be starting as Greasus Goldtooth. The recent 4.1 patch has broken most of the overhaul mods, so with SFO Grimhammer down for the time being, we've got a little bit of a tangle of mods on those two campaigns, so even if we were to roll it on back, it would still not be playable just due to most of those mods breaking. So we are going to have to wait on those, but they will be back, no worries. We're not going to be canceling anything like that. And as soon as they are back, Greasus won't be on pause or anything like that. We'll just keep them all going as we are. So moving on down to Greasus, the shockingly obese, has been sleeping off his recent feasting in the Great Hall of the Mountains of Morn, and now sets out to dominate all the ogres of the region. And he's been snacking on some rocket fuel, at least his Noblars have, because the recent patch has added in a bit of a bug where Greasus, instead of having 40 speed like they meant to buff him up to, has 400 speed. So now he is rolling around like a rocket. His two Noblars that are named Excelsior and I believe Gary are supercharged for sure. So his starting army is going to be the Man-Eaters, some Iron Guts, a whole bunch of Ogre Bulls, mostly with the dual weapons, which are the far superior version, and then a group of Noblars with some Trappers. His faction effects are going to be an additional 20 diplomatic relations with all Ogre Kingdoms, extra trade tariffs, income by 50%, extra mass by 25%, and then for his Lord effects, for his army only, you'll get extra income from raiding by 50%, 50% less upkeep for Iron Gut units, and then you'll gain more income from sacking and looting settlements by 50%. So he's a nasty boy all about stealing gold from others. We're starting smack dab in the Mountains of Morn. We start with a couple settlements, unlike most of the other factions there. And a Trade Lord Greasus, Tribe Stealer, Drake Crush, Gate Crasher, Horde Master Goldtooth, the shockingly obese, was one of the many whelps sired by the infamous Gulf, tyrant of the Goldtooth tribe. Like his brothers, Greasus grew up to become strong and fat. Unlike his brothers, he killed and ate his own father. As word spread of such prodigious deeds, many tyrants decided to join the ruthless new leader of the Goldtooth tribe, and soon, once again, the Ogre Kingdoms had an over-tyrant. These days, grown larger, bolder, louder, and richer than ever. Mix those up a little bit. Goldtooth's coffers feel faster than his Noblars can count. Yet Greasus' rampant success has not diminished his greed, or his all-consuming desire to conquer everything he sees. Indeed. And so we are going to be playing this campaign on Legendary, very hard difficulty, with the only in-game scenario set being the Whale of Hashut. It's the one we haven't gotten to see just yet, so let's go ahead and fight ourselves some Chaos Dwarves. We're already playing it on one of the more difficult campaigns on Legendary, so quick jump cut. Nurgle and or Hashut decided to choke us up there, so for the last bit of changes we're going to make to this campaign, the AI stats modifier has been set to the exact middle there, so they are getting no buffs of any kind. But on Legendary, our troops will have less, or at least on battle difficulty, very hard. Our troops are going to have less overall leadership as the only penalty we'll see, but the AI is going to have no stat modifiers, except for they're just going to be a little bit smarter. So that's what I pretty much keep it on no matter what, even when playing on Legendary. So let's, without further ado, dive into Greasus' campaign.
You know why we're here. Meat, loot, it all belongs to us.
Meat and loot. He's basically a Destiny player. Alright, so how they play, you use your armies to set up ogre camps anywhere in the world to benefit from high-tier buildings and other advantages over sedentary settlements. Yeah, your normal settlements are never going to be able to go above tier 3. And I actually have less playtime with the ogres than even Norska or the Beastmen, which I have almost zero with. So if you have any tips or tricks with the ogres, go ahead and let me know. It definitely seemed like a very aggressive faction on the campaign, a map where you definitely need, or at least a battle map where you need some Noblars to kind of be your initial front line for people to kind of get distracted in, and then the ogres smash in and do all sorts of nasty things from there. But let's ensure that each army has sufficient meat supply during campaign to prevent attrition from cannibalism. Send surpluses to the Great Maw in return for temporary army bonuses. Cannibalism doesn't sound great. Complete challenges with eligible characters to grant them big names, which come with various bonuses and abilities. And then Yes, eventually here in 10 turns, we'll be able to accept contracts issued by other factions for a military action against targeted characters and settlements in return for rewards and improved diplomatic relations with contract issuers. Fantastic. Yeah, I've never gotten far enough into a Ogre campaign to actually see the contracts issued, so this should be fun. Engage the enemy, we need to go ahead and club the cross clubs. Our enemies rather to strike against us, attack first, and deny them the opportunity to reach full strength. But don't you worry. First stay. Welcome, sir. Well, you're definitely not going to be our Kevin if you've already got such a illustrious name. Speaking of, Greasus is up to... Yeah, that doesn't look like 40 speed to me. 400. He's basically going to be a rocket. His red eye. The Eye of Sauron now. As far as any extra skills or big names we need to worry about, Gatecrasher for winning a siege battle. Winning a battle against the Ogre Kingdoms for Horde Master. That sounds pretty great, just having additional 8 leadership. Trade and income. Rank up and rating. And then the Shockingly Obese process meat post-battle. 30% more unit mass on a 400 speed unit sounds hilarious. He doesn't actually have any other melee stats different than normal, so he's going to perform exactly the same in combat as before. He's actually pretty decent, but now he's just very quick. We'll have our Scepter of Titans and Ogre Tyrant's Crown. Are these both going to be battles? A mission and a quest battle. So just one quest battle, which is a little bit sad. Awesome. Take a look at first tank, and we'll dive into the first battle. And look at you. You are a Chungus to behold. I think to become a Firebelly, they have to eat the lava. And if they don't die, then it's basically the fire mouth blessing them. Oh yeah, lovely. Fire resistance and ward save. The Firebelly is going to be awesome. Flame Incarnate. Be nice. Extra melee damage reflection. Oh, it's an activated ability. How sad. Be great if that was all the time. Kind of like how the Cathayan Fireborn are. He's extra strong. That works for me. He'll be throwing down a lot better in melee. Doesn't have a lot of defense, but when he does land those hits, it's going to hurt. Right, so for our first offer to the Great Maw, which is all of the Ogre Kingdom factions are going to be able to do, it would be great if they had different ones depending on which faction it was. So if Greasus had different ones than Scrag. Scrag's being a lot more, I guess, fanatical towards the Great Maw. And more religious. Let's go for Bloody and Raw for extra melee attack. The campaign movement range is pretty solid, but let's make sure we're outclassing all of the other Ogres, especially here on Legendary. Yeah. Dum-dum, eat 'em up. Taking nuggers from all. And how we attack. Was it just two Noblars, some Ogre Bulls, and the Sabertusk pack? We're not going to do any pre-battle feasting. We don't really need it. Let's gather us some food. Looks like... Interesting. So it's just going to be kind of a valley battle. Should be no problem at all. Let's get them. Alright. It's quite cold. Let's start our deployment. We'll pull up the troops. We'll have our Noblars take the front position, and I'm going to control down a couple times. That way they are in as square of formation as possible. Actually, is going to keep them from taking all that much damage from the initial charge from the enemy Ogres. And then it'll allow our Ogres to have a much bigger blob to smash into as well. Noblars up front. Where are their batter units? We could have the Trapper go after Gut Rug, because I believe Sabertusk pack have missile resistance. Oh, they don't. They're just quite quick. He has a little bit more armor, and our Noblar Trappers are anti-armor. Let's have them deal with the Ogre Bulls. And then they can rotate to go after the enemy Lord. So hide them in the trees here. They already have stock. Should be no problem hiding them wherever we want. But they can fall back into the trees. That way they don't get smushed by Ogres. That would be great. Dual Club Ogres can be on the sides. We got the Man-Eaters and everything on the middle to be a very deadly smashing force. Keep the other Ogres in the back to stop any kind of flanking. Maybe I want them over here. Ready to run over those saber tusks. We've got our rocket Greasus and the fire belly. I'm gonna keep them a little ways back, although with Greasus it's not gonna matter. He's gonna zoom. We'll keep in the middle, that way we can launch him out to take someone out. He's basically a heat-seeking ogre missile of doom. Guard mode for trappers, actually guard mode for all of them. We don't want them chasing fools. Normal ogres, Greasus in the fire belly. Let's take a look. Love the Noblars. They're just goblins with great big noses. And they're rather clever because a few of them's got pots on their head. It's extra defense, and if an arrow hits that, I mean, there's a chance it's not gonna go right through. Small chance, but there is one. The most bedazzled model on our character, our side of the field here. Strongest Noblars in the world. Not just because they have 400 speed now. Got the dual clubbed ogres. They'll have kind of a makeshift scimitars. Extra spiky bits.
We're gonna grind them to paste.
They're just not lads you'd want to meet anywhere, let alone a dark alley. Awesome. So we go over to the more elite ogres, which there are way less of in terms of models. More piratey looking variant. Man-eaters are not my favorite, except for the pistol versions. Iron bellies are great, or iron guts are fantastic. Very heavy armor. They deal a ton of damage. Lovely fella. And our other dual clubs. It's about to be a terrible day for the enemies. Very outnumbered. We've got our little Noblar trappers. Thrilled to be here. Ready to cause some people some hurt. And lastly, our fire belly. Pretty awesome animations. That is Luchador Mask of Doom. Anyone who's willing to go to battle wearing absolutely nothing is alright in my book. Let's get him. We're an absolute mad lad. We'll scoot to here. We'll see Greasus launch.
We can only win.
Look at him go! It's the best thing ever. What they should do, good grief. What they should do is just not, look how fast he moves, there's nothing they can do about him. He is speed. Literally eats losers for breakfast. Let's keep them up and in this position, let's bring these Noblars back. That is comical. Get him, Greasus! Where are you going? He said, no, we don't do shift commands, we just go straight in. Speaking of, here they come. These ogres moved up and ready to engage with the enemy Sabertusk back there. Send the Noblars in. Please, ogre mates. Firebelly and Greasus can fight them together. I have the ogres doing battle with Sabertusks. We're snacking on some Noblars at current. Let's have all of you guys work together on these ogres. Firebelly, come on away just a little bit longer there. For a little bit there, you getting whooped on by that tyrant. You need Greasus to help out. Let's crash it over here. You should be able to handle Noblars, no problem. Oh, we can't slow things down in Legend. We have to slow things down to see some of the battles going on. We are annihilating them. Smell ya. Actually engaged everyone here. I think they might have ignored orders after a bit. Very quick, brutal, and bloody combat. From the golf swing, sending Noblars into orbit. He's still fighting over here. Let's go ahead and run them down. Greasus likely needs to keep moving. It doesn't even matter. Snacks for all. Make sure those saber tusks don't escape. And a beautiful first battle there. Keep in mind, our fire belly is very, very squishy. That's something we learned there. Alright, I'm going to chase down as many of these other foolish rebel ogres as I can, and I'll catch you in a moment. Alright, a quick brutal victory there. We get to round up everyone and turn them into beef jerky. So let's go ahead and process that meat. That should give us our first, actually two big names there. 500 gold for engaging the enemy. Big name Horde Master, and Shucking the Obese. It's quick. 20% more spell resistance for the big boy himself, and then we've got a halfling cook. This one knows what that he'd better come up with some top grub if he wants to avoid being a light snack. Your halflings are one of the delicacies of the ogres, but the problem is they also cook very well, so you don't like to snack on them. We need to gather up 5 big names across all of our characters. We get a hefty bit of treasury and some armor of silver and steel for it. Sounds good to me. Go ahead and take a quick timeout to go ahead and show those who are interested the, that's not going to help us out, the graphic setting here. This is what things are currently at. Bask for a moment and we'll go ahead and jump back to the game. Yeah. Skill points to give to Greasus. I'm thinking Tribe Stealer. Extra melee attack will fight against Ogre Kingdoms. Sold. Also will give us more diplomatic relations with them, too. Horde Master is more leadership or unit mass and melee defense. I'm thinking that's going to be the way. Shockingly obese. He should be able to have multiple big names all at once, since that's kind of his gimmick. Things to think about. Now, so yeah, onward towards Grimtop. We're not going to be able to actually have any kind of camp until we win a couple battles here, so let's charge on in. At least until we finish the first research. Re-battle feast. We make our troops faster just because we'll have a little bit of a snack. That gives us up to 4% more speed, 4% more unit mass, and a charge bonus as well. Perfect. Let's butcher them. Alright. Another bit of frostiness in the air. Go ahead and start deployment. I'm going to actually make sure we chuck more fireballs in this group. That way we can take down some ogres before they get to us. And this time we'll have the Noblars. I think we'll have them up on top of the hill. But we're not going to advance towards the enemy. We're going to let them come over here towards us. Let's have the bulls in the center. And then the more elite units on the side. So the man-eaters over here, since they should be able to, well, not as much armor means we'll probably want the iron guts on that end. Though the friendly fire is reduced. We'll have normal bulls in the center. Yoink. The ones over here. For any who are wondering about the controls I am using to maneuver the units around, I am going to be using Alt a lot to just kind of move the units around in formation, and then if you'd like to rotate them, you hold Control at the same time. This works for as many units as you've got. I find it just a little bit quicker than locking the groups. I'm just not as good at that, so this is how I maneuver the units for any who are wondering. Greasus over on the side. So quick, we'll just make sure you're clapping the Noblars and moving through fast on his chariot. Actually be acting like a chariot for once. Okay, so this time only the trappers and guard mode. I actually don't mind these guys chasing people and disrupting their formations or their retreat attempts. A little bit more. If we can go for it, I can get the Noblars all the way around. Problem is I think they'll just be way too slow, so we'll keep them up here. A little bit further back. Awesome, let's get it. Chuck a fireball at these guys in the middle just whenever you can. And also in 4.1, homing has been changed, so this fireball should be much more accurate, at least much more aggressive on its tracking. Let's find out. Speech on ogres incoming. I mean, they didn't even really do much to try to dodge it, but single model falls, which is fantastic. 15 more seconds, we'll take down another model. Nobblar's up there a little bit, because even the trappers are pretty expendable. So you guys are near your friends there. So the Nobblars are a little bit further out. Another fireball away at the same unit. Look at him. Excellent hit. Now we'll go ahead and bring you back behind our Nobblars, but still close enough that you're giving them that leadership buff.
Off we go.
Rotate. You guys come more middling. Greasus just smash into these Nobblars in the center there. He'll smell ya. Chuck a fireball at this group of ogres, because we might be able to hit more than one with each. Look at him go. That is ridiculous. Oh, he slowed down. Smash into the Nobblars and keep pulling yourself through. Oh, they went past. Nice. I'm impressed by that. Sure. Go ahead and bring Greasus back around, and we'll have the Man-Eaters fight in the middle line here. Firebelly will be fine. He appears to have lost one of his spells, which is kind of strange. I believe the purple tinted armor lads are the ones we're fighting. Greasus' troops don't have great armor color themselves. It'd be great if it was like a dark red or a little bit more striking. Maybe even just gold. All of the what would normally be a kind of normal iron color would be just gold instead. Bring you guys on in. Looks like the ogres are done. Meal time. Chuck a fireball at these bulls. I think that would be a bad call. Let the Iron Guts take them out. Wades on into battle with his chicken leg. Whatever this thing is. Wouldn't mind seeing the chicken that came off of this, though. Hunting moas. Plan, enemy ogres, except for getting clubbed. There's the victory. Brutal. Oh, we're gonna get to grinding their bones into paste. I'll catch you in a moment. Alright. We claim victory once more over the cross clubs, and only 3 meat. They're a bit scrawny, I guess. Snag another war banner as well, which would be great to throw down on some Nobblars, make them fight to the bitter end. Actually, we're not going to be doing... Look how happy he is. We're not going to be doing any sacking or looting in the Mountains of Morn itself, unless someone has a whole heap of gold we'd like to claim. Just because we'd like to keep this, all of everything here intact and building up.
We'll kick you out.
As Grimgore is going to be coming on down the mountain to fight us as soon as he can. Unless we can manage to turn him against Kolek, which is it's very unlikely being on Legend here. We need to build up for Grimgore.
Shockingly obese.
Drake Crush. Extra armor and leadership for the whole army. Drake Crush will be great against fighting other ogres, but I think for dealing with just survivability, Goldtooth is the way. Hurt stank. You, my friend, we're going to make sure your magic is cooking. I think we'll actually give you the Obsidian Lodestone. With all of the low armor and actual low survivability you have, it would be great to give you a bit of spell resistance. Perfect. While we're here, we are going to immediately snag in some more Ogre Bulls. Oh, they hadn't quite built...
OVERTYRANT knows best.
You're lucky they have already built in the weapon pile. Okay, so what we're going to do is keep Grimtop, since it doesn't have the tusks there. Trade materials, we're going to go ahead and take out the bullpen here. And we're going to immediately go ahead and upgrade Grimtop so we can take up the bullpen to tier 2 and get in those dual weapon bulls, which are far superior.
Hold, master.
Okay, so we'll just grab in the meantime. One more Nobblar and some more Ogre Bulls. I'd like to keep a core of 4 Nobblars for the front line, and I think we'll eventually just trade them all out for the Trappers. And they'll just sit in the front line, and as soon as it's time for them to flee, they'll go ahead and do so and drop down their traps. A bit of damage. We've got that armor-piercing alpha strike, though it's not a lot of damage, but... Well, they lost their armor-piercing, did they? How sad. I don't know when that happened. I know before, these guys used to be, I think, fully armor-piercing, which was terrifying for what the unit was. Okay, so first up, we'll get our camp huddle. A couple of ogres having a conflab quickly becomes a huddle, as more and more gather around them. I wouldn't know what a conflab is, but it sounds unsanitary. Population surplus 1 for newly deployed camps, 1 extra camp, and then we'll have the dismember ability for all of our armies, which will allow us to catch them and turn them into snacks.
Greasus looks after his boys.
Looks after his boys. And it would normally would be great to do deals with most of the ogres in the area. I think we're going to want to try to get the western provinces on side very quickly, so I'm going to grab a...
For what do you drag me from the forge?
Oh, trade. 1,000. You were pricey. Worth it,
You
though.
have a keen mind, Ogre.
We want to be friends with Cathay, pretty much at all costs. There's a lot of loot to be gained from attacking them, but then we're dealing with Chaos. And that's Chaos and Grimcore both at the same time, as well as Chaos from the south and the Undead. We've got lots of enemies here as Greasus. We need to build up quickly.
Must face.
In fact, so quickly, I think we need to put in another Lord very quickly. How much are we gonna
Boss of
dodge for him? We'll grab a Slaughtermaster for some magic. Even more magic. Big Daddy or Deboner. Grab a Tyrant for some dueling capabilities. Magic drop chance and more line of sight. Welcome on in, Kevin. Biggest boss there ever was. Kevin the Chunky. Welcome, sir.
Ogre Tyrant.
We got a whole meat grinder with a spike on one end, or a meat tenderizer. The Taker, perfect. So we're basically going to be using this secondary lord here. We're not really going to recruit up any soldiers just to drop his, keep his upkeep as low as possible. We're just going to use him as a kind of expensive hero, gaining up skills as he goes. And then he should be leveled up enough to try to turn around and defend anything down here in the south. While we finish off the crossed clubs. Perfect. Your turn. Demolish the bullpen. Perfect. Oh, no one wants to challenge you. Quit being a clown. Here at Karakatin, we go for the animal store for a bit of income. Actually, our income's fine for now, so let's go for everything into growth. Big slab. This is where the ogres gather to throw all their spoils and yet uneaten meat. And we'll bring Kevin and Greasus up to the Maw-Gate. Almost reach. Is it just... We're already at war with both of these two factions. Awesome. Greasus, onward.
March. OVERTYRANT's orders.
Let's bring Kevin with him. Don't mind throwing him into a march stance behind.
Keep moving or else.
Just to try to give him the
Stomp on.
extra trait you get for staying in march for a couple turns. Offer to the Great Maw, I don't mind giving you a Bloody and Raw just to give you a little bit more melee attack. He just kind of builds up meat over time because he doesn't have any troops. That's how Bloody and Raw works. Yeah. Admitted their surplus meat to the Great Maw. Awesome. Now, Kevin and Greasus continue their journey. Perfect. More Ogre Bulls is the way. Overwhelm them in a tide of bloody chunky fellas. As soon as we do meet Grimgore, we want to try to declare war on most of his friends, or whoever he's at war with, not his friends. Yeah. That way we can try to start building up relations before he declares war on us. There is a chance. Turn is ours, and it looks like Gar is recruiting up, I mean, a few troops. It's likely to be just Noblars, so let's move on in and run him over. Hey, I was like, or maybe the game will crash. Let's drop the war banner down on, I'd say Greasus himself, or the Fire Valley has actually pretty low leadership comparatively. 77 is not great. So we'll go ahead and encircle. We'll bring Kevin up and go down again with another Cross Club's army.
Obey me!
Normal stance, please, sir.
I said
Let's do some damage. Again, we could pretty easily run them on over, but I'm not gonna take the easy route out. Road to run on down. We'll have to set our Noblars up here and then charge the Ogres around on either side. Let's rush them. Alright. Oh, it's actually a little stream. Awesome. So that'll make the Noblars more useless as they come on across it. Let's then... we can do our best to kind of push over here towards this, force all the Ogres through this small little choke point. Noblars. Down in square formations. Lets them take a little bit less damage. Unless they get completely surrounded, which... they'll take a lot more. Set these Noblars up. Forest, as far back as we can. Noblar units. Ahoy. Ogre boys. Bulls can be in the center here. No, we want them as wide of a group as possible. We just might spread them out a little bit. Let me spread the Ogres about. There we go. Fire belly off on this side, so we can actually chuck fireballs at their lord. And then the two of them, the sleeve rolling down. Throw the elite Ogres in the back. On both sides. Dual club guys we have. Very clumped up. We want the enemy Ogres to kind of deploy the same and force their way through these choke points. Greasus. Let's do it. Move all up this way as quick as we can. Of course, Greasus will launch like a rocket. It may choose to fall back, too. No fireball yet. That is insane. He's moving at the speed of Mach.
OVERTYRANT going.
Serve the ogres!
Our Noblars back. A little bit further there. Are they just going to choose to retreat fully? I will have you come on back. Try to chuck a fireball at them. We can also have Greasus charge into these Ogre Bulls. It'll just be kind of hard to get them out of there. Drop their melee attack by 24. He slows down as he gets close. He gets like a little bit of a bugged charge. I think it's because he's dropping his charge back down to what it's supposed to be. His 400 speed is obviously not real. Yeah, as he gets closer, he drops down to what he's supposed to be. Interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and chuck the fireball at this Tyrant. Let's see how accurate our Homing 2.0 is. Yeah. He's got some hate on it. I mean, you didn't even try to dodge it. Oh, alright. I appreciate the gall. Sheer brass. A lot of damage, though. Greasus, they are going to try to pull away to do a charge, so you are going to zoom. If you aren't charging, you should be able to move very quickly away. Hide these two Ogre groups in the woods. I was trying to lure them over here towards us. We've got this lovely choke point. Noblars up a little bit. Helps the tribe. Were they just waiting for our reinforcements? I can see that being a thing. Go ahead and overcast another one. Hopefully you don't blow yourself up. Ooh, that's not great. The damage is worth it. Oh, they jumped in front of them. Get down, Mr. President. Ogre version. He will be remembered as a hero. But no more overcast. Not worth it. We're blowing up our fire belly. I think they've realized that they've got no choice now but to charge us. We'll send Greasus around the outside. Have him take down a random unit of Noblars. Special Agent Greasus. Alright, one more fireball at the Tyrant there. He slows down. The brakes kick in. What if we just use him to smash through lines instead of,
Greasus goes.
I don't want him to get bogged down in all those ogres.
Iron God.
They want to get bogged down in our units, that's perfect.
Looking for me. This way.
It'll take him too long to get all the way around, so let's go ahead and just charge in.
Off it.
Break those ogres. Or Firebelly's getting, jumped. We'll send him some friends. You guys can move on back and deal with that group of ogres. That'd be fantastic. Smash in. Maul them. Let's get Greasus through. We're just not going to give him an attack order. That way he can do his maximum speed thing. Get him, Greasus. Drop that leadership of everyone in this group, then come on around to karate chop Gar. Stop these ogre bulls from charging back in. Just pull him well a while around there. Ogre bulls we didn't commit to battle. Don't worry about those Noblars at all. These ogre bites. Fireball at these fools. Every model we drop is going to be huge losses for them. Let the man-eaters fight the enemy lord, and you guys come on through. Rampage this way.
I'll crush them. Bring us meat. Ogres attack.
We're all together. Ogres, we're gonna lose plenty of Noblars. Do we keep our tyrant all the way back? That's why we brought you, sir. Sit back and observe. Even the Goliath can be felled by a little Noblar with a hat. Several ogres stopped in combat for a moment. It's quite tiring work. Crunching skulls. It's pretty much game over. We'll let Greasus chase off Gar, and we'll have the rest of our ogres maul the little Noblars running around. Perfect. And we'll see the white flag going up quite soon. There it is. Perfect. I think what we're missing out on here is saber tusks. Extra speed. But like Greasus said, we're gonna smash them to pulp, gather them up in the meat stacks, and I'll catch you all in a moment. Another victory under our belts and a talisman of protection as well. Nice little bit of ward save. Sounds great. All gate belongs to me now. Ivory Road is under our control. And we didn't take a look at what Heaven's big names were. We've got Chaos Slayer, so fighting against capture the Challenge Stone settlement. Interesting. 12 extra melee attack. So is it this tyrant has to claim the settlement, or just once you do, all your tyrants gain this this name? Occupy a settlement with a mountain climate. Word save is going to be great. Round Breaker. In a battle against Cathay. Explodes the area. That's a lot of damage. With an extra melee attack will fight against other Ogre Kingdoms. So winning a battle against Ogre Kingdoms, he probably has to be the one initiating the battle then. Fair enough. Need a single skill point for our efforts there. Let's grab Inspiring Presence to start. A trickle of skill points is always good.
Shockingly obese.
Kindle Flame, and I actually think the Cascading Fire Cloak is going to be great to drop down on either Greasus or Stank himself.
Boss of bosses.
Boss of bosses. I think instead we're going to have that slow trickle of experience for him as well. Route Marcher, and then we'll probably start making Greasus extra strong. Starting with Drake Crush. Some stuff. So now we continue through to Amel Peak as quickly as we can. Not sure if they're going to send anyone through, so what we'll do is take Kevin and send him back the other way. See if anything's going on over there. Greasus will continue on to the Amel Peak, and we'll have Kevin recruit up some troops once Greasus is all filled up. More Ogre Bulls looks to be the way here. Now Mawgate and Grimtop both have a single bullpen. Awesome. We'll remove that one as well, and we'll just throw in a couple more Ogre Bowls. Perfect. Firebelly have any big names? Oh, he doesn't. How sad. Why not? He's an Ogre Kingdom's hero, isn't he not? Commandments we have are Feasts for the Strong, so extra control and growth, which will likely be our call here for the start. Might makes right, and then Crude Ingenuity. Definitely my Feast for the Strong. This is almost the wrong one. Growth in this early game is definitely what we need here. Fast look at our diplomacy. We still haven't met Rimgor, which is probably a good thing. And Tree Trick is going to be wiped out by the Caravan and the Blue Roses, so we really don't want to make enemies with the Caravan just yet. Perfect. Actually, let's go ahead and declare war on the Dissenter Lords.
Tell me, how do you
I'll join your war with the Dissenter Lords,
of Xiangyang?
and then you will give me gold. It's not very much. Get him, Xiaoming.
You have a keen mind.
We're doing this to
Ogre.
increase relations with them. Because increasing relations with Zhao Ming will hopefully keep the rest of the dragon siblings off our back. We can get allies coming in from all three of them. That's a lot of extra Cathayan crossbows, which will be a huge help, or even just the Cathayan artillery. Alright, our camp huddle has been completed. So was the Maw Cave there at the Grimtop.
Even meat won't calm us.
We're going to immediately go ahead and throw in the weapon pile. And then at the Maw Gate, can we grab tier 3? Bells of the Lazards. All of these bells haunts every ogre who passes through here on their pilgrimage to the Great Maw. 150 income, and then extra relations with all of the Ogre Kingdoms. As well as some global recruitment buffs. That's great stuff. Spice Market will give us even more gold. Let's go for the Spice Market here. We do need to actually keep up with our
This'll bring
soldiers
me
upkeep.
spoils.
Greasus will move up to this position.
Over.
Kevin will just keep you in march.
Tyrant. There. I
Could go after
said
Karak
so.
Rakuten. See if we can locate the
In
enemies.
charge.
Mountains are just being a bit
The
difficult.
boss.
Stay here in the
Too rich.
proper city. We could deploy a camp here. Would be in friendly territory. Would it cover all of the land? No, I think what we'll do with our first camp then is we're going to deploy it back near the Great Hall. Kind of in between there and Grimtop, so we can kind of keep all of this area safe. I think our first enemy is likely to be the undead down here. They've already taken down... They've raised Flayed Rock, looks like. Plus that's just a residual undead poison. Well, I guess we could have this other tyrant drop the camp down. You come on up out, and we'll have you drop the camp too close to a settlement. That's fine. We're going to do it kind of right here in this crossroads. It'll also be a guard for us. Use them as a fort. Noblar Scavenging or Whetstones. Ride and Stick. Camp growth when in enemy territory, which our camps aren't going to be to start. Bribes. Let's go down here on this bottom path. Replenishment rate, growth. This is all the good stuff.
With this, we'll take the world.
We'll take the world.
OVERTYRANT.
Grab one more unit of Noblar Trappers, and then should be able to afford additional Ogre Bowl as well. Coming up on the limits of our economy, though.
Always hungry.
Right, the turn is ours. Oh, we can't actually reach Amble Peak.
Shockingly hopeless.
You lucky dogs.
Find me a
We'll scoot on in and do some raiding then. We'll have Kevin drop off
tyrant.
the camp. I believe that's the idea. Extra control and corruption. Our control is taking some hits being on legendary here. We might need a control building. Meat generated, but I'm not going to take that big of a hit to our income. And the big slab for even more growth. I think not. Goldtooth gate toll, or toll gate, is a heap of income. Plus the gold mine as well. Kevin, you come on up. You'll be able to drop the camp off
Follow the boss.
A little bit further north here in this position.
Argue.
We need 2,000 gold to deploy a camp. So be it. One more look at diplomacy.
Poison blades.
It's still just the Lizargs,
Butcher.
which they're at war with only the Dissenter Lords, so I will go ahead and make a
Ingredient is another slaughter master.
trade agreement with you guys. It's kind of an easy one to break if we need to.
And
Work towards a confederation with these guys, just kind of on the fly. That would be perfect. Like they are going to get stamped out, though. Go for the big slab here, just for even more growth? I think so.
hungry. Someone bring me meat.
Alright, we've unlocked a new name, Trade Lord. Also, we actually leveled up while raiding. That is perfect. That's almost all of Greasus' big names already. And we're just missing out on Gatecrasher, so win a siege battle. I don't think we're going to get any of those fighting against other ogres. Definitely time to grab the Drake Crush now. What creature can outgrow the shadow cast by Greasus' gargantuan bulbous form? He is quite corporeous.
More spoils. Nice.
We're really losing some meat though, so it's time to gather it through our fellows. Hello, Malbob. Let's say you to becoming meat. We have plus 10 melee attack. I don't think we really need to go for any of the extra speed. Let's just give us any more attack itself. We'll just grab ones, though we're a little bit faster than them. Alright, perfect. I see no Noblar Trappers or Elite Ogres on their side, and then just a Slaughtermaster. Should be a simple matter for Greasus to go over there and bonk him on the head with his beautiful diamond mace. Fought this battle map at least once before. They have the high ground, but they'll do nothing to help them this time. Alright. It's a lovely snowy day. Whatever is this gigantic creature. It'd be great if we got to see more of the kind of megafauna that the ogres have to deal with on a day-to-day. I think a few of them have vents that can pop up. It's not quite what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and the units are already set up pretty well, so we'll go ahead and pull. We've got a lot of ogre bulls now, so we'll just make them their own unit entirely. These are going to be the special forces ogres, and then the Noblars. Perfect. We'll just have Greasus go bully the enemy Slaughtermaster. Let's get up front as well. People just pull ogre bulls this side. Noblars, I'm going to pull back into this little ravine so we can try to draw the enemy ogres in here. Be much easier to fight them. It's confined territory. We'll be running through the trees as well, which will slow them down. All of our normal ogres here, ready to kind of be a gigantic blob of doom. The ones that are on the furthest corners, we'll drag them off to the side. I'm going to hide them in the tree. And actually. Here, and run them out again. Lovely. We'll take the dual club ogres, keep them back. Then wherever those Saber Tusk pack are, I'm going to have the Iron Guts move to stop them. Iron Guts, and then we'll have the Trappers up front. On both sides there. Won't be fast enough to retreat, so we have to keep them back a little bit. Like so. Let's see if the strategy is going to work for us. Man-Eaters, I want you guys. You also want the back here, just ready to find the most elite ogre and give them a horrible day. Onward to victory. Gonna have you chuck a fireball at the Slaughtermaster there. He's gonna have actually less health than normal ogres. This Greasus sprints towards him. I'm just gonna go smack Malbob in the face. Please don't hit you with your own fireball. Ooh, excellent. I think normally that would have been dodgeable. So, homing 2.0 is working for us now. Of course, as soon as they start chucking homing rockets at us, I'm gonna be quite sad about it. Crispy, crispy Malbob. Moving again. Looks like Fireball's taking its airtime to deploy. Have you go out and be the expendables on this side. And we'll deploy the dual clubs aggressively over there as well. Greasus is under attack. That may not be great. Let's drop their melee attack and hopefully we can draw him away. Can't work out like that though. Check more fireballs at Malbob. And keep moving yourself. Greasus' rocket capabilities got him out of there. Some nonsense, he shouldn't have been able to escape. Not that easily. Look at him go! Let's get them flying on in. And Greasus can come help out over here. Ugh. Hobblars carry me. Burn and chuck a fireball at these Ogre Bulls. Taking down one of their models should be great. Come on back here because that is a lot of Ogres moving to engage. You guys come up and help. Find the meal. Now we bring in the boys. Crunch them. Crunch them up. You guys turn around. A lot of Ogres streaming through the woods there, so let's go ahead and bring our elite ones in and break them. Want to drop down the Cascading Fire Cloak on these Nobblars in the center. They need a little bit of help. Pull Greasus away for a moment here. He can charge back in. Those four Nobblars not fighting anyone at all. Unacceptable. Our job is to die for the Ogres. I'd stop you from casting just for now. Pull you away so I can actually cast something. Greasus back in. Eaters need a little bit of help. The Iron Guts, that is. Ate them alive. Lost our middle line. Up through. We need more clubs getting to work here in the center. Sprint on away, and we'll drop down some extra. Well, you can have just give yourself some more defense. You'll return and fight, no problem. We'll dismember everyone in this group. Bring them in to fight. Iron Guts and Greasus themselves go take down these Ogre Bulls. Let ours surround and destroy. We'll be able to completely roll their line from there. You thought you were elite? No, sir. On Fire Belly. Looking like Vulcan, or Trailer. Oh yeah, give him the foot. Foot of the Forge. Well, you're struggling a bit, so let's go ahead and pull you away from the fight. You go over and crash into this group. Have our Nobblar Trappers post up here, they can just chuck at whoever they want. Violence incarnate they are. Everyone else except for you guys, go ahead and just charge in. Break this group. Love the Nobblar Trappers are holding the line. Absolute champions. Alright, Greasus, let's go deal with this poor fool. Love the Fire Mouth's voice lines. We got him kind of modified. Feels like he's actually speaking through flames. Freaking great stuff. The Ogres are awesome. Another victory for us. Unresolved, that would be Pyrrhic. We'll see just how many we lost in the end, but it looks pretty good for us. I'm gonna hunt down as many of these foolish opposing Ogres as I can. I'll catch you in a moment. Another decisive victory under our belts. Yeah, with the Ogres, it is all about their charge bonus. They don't get that their nasty charge. They actually get double, I believe, due to their Ogre charge. Completely stupid nonsense. Ogre charge is just that, oh, they can smash into brace defenders and only lose half of its charge bonus. They're incredible. They don't get their charge into the enemies. They perform way worse just because of the lack of armor piercing. Nobblars are stupid, but this one has shown the faintest spark of intelligence. He has been promoted to chief. Okay. Rut Sickle. But the bloodthirsty's culinary malevolence seems to live on in his rusty sickle. Gives the butcher greater command of the winds, but at a cost to his own health. Oh, looks like a forbidden rod. For the ogres only. Can definitely have that come on down over here to Furtstank. Be careful about hurting himself too much. What is this monstrosity? It's like a giant crab? We need this to be a unit. Fire Breath. Fire Within just for more weapon strength in general. We'll get to the more dueling focused ones, but for now, let's go ahead and grab Burning Head for even more magic. An ability to kind of clear out Noblar hordes, that we don't have to deal with them at all.
No gut bigger.
I'm thinking Overtyrant's a great call. Extra recruit rank, recruit capacity, and then just replenishment right across the board. Fantastic. And then after that, it's Root Marcher. And gain us nearly enough meat.
Legendary.
So next turn, we're going to drop by how much? Let's drop by 19. Boy, that's a lot. We've got enough for now. And since we're at war with these poor fools, we can draw them into a fight.
Get it done.
I mean, it's gonna be a tough one. Kevin can handle it. Go ahead and drop down the camp here.
Strongest boss there ever was.
Strongest boss there ever was. Can we grab units out of the camp?
Find me.
Be great.
Tyrant of the tribe.
We have some of these guys.
Tyrant.
Although it likely won't let me move, then will it? Let's try. We'll just take the Ogre Bulls and the Noblars, so we have a few units. Let's go over here and take down Chao Zhongsun.
Show you who's boss.
Oh, you who's boss? Oh, a decisive defeat, is it? I mean, you have a few peasant long spears. Let's go ahead and have ourselves a huge pre-battle feast. I think we can win, but it's going to take a little bit of actual tactics on our side. Decisive defeat. We'll see, won't we? We'll make sure our Noblars are fighting against the Jade War, or the all of the long spears, because they'll actually do pretty well against them. And the Halberdiers make sure they're bogged down against those Noblars. That way they're not getting all of that bonus V-large against our Ogres. Let's charge in and try to take down this caravan. Alright, we're definitely going to be waiting the 2 minutes for our reinforcements to arrive, but I think we can do so while also hiding most of our troops in the forest there. Oh, this one spot. Start the battle up. Speed things along. Once our reinforcements are here, we can smash these Cathayans. Alright, just a minute. It's zooming along pretty quickly. So how these guys are able to hide. Some of the ogres have forest. The forest move ability. I know it's like woodsman or something along those lines, but I guess these guys don't. Such is the way. Our reinforcements are here though, so let's go ahead and ready to engage. That should mean that the Cathayans are coming on towards us as well. I'm trying to take the high ground over here on this hill. See exactly where they're all at. Send these guys in the woods for now. Newly bringing on in ogres. We'll send 2 on either side. We've got to use them to shut down the archers. Reckon so. Still, we've seen no Cathayans. Speed things along once more while everyone gets in a position. Legend, I believe it's within 600 meters. You can't see the enemies. Here they are. So they are not moving towards us. Which might actually make things a little bit easier for us, because we can make sure they're firing on our Noblars first with all the crossbows. I mean, we have a much less of them to use against their units, but it'll be alright. They're not moving at all. Come on, ogres, move, move, move. send these guys up this hill. We'll have them walk, though, that way they're not spending too much of their energy. All the Noblars, I don't mind if they get nice and tired. Other end of this hill. We'll have the Ogres go wide. Not sure how long we'll have to wait, but I'm betting we'll get Yetis eventually, which is basically just kind of corrupted ogres. They're basically the ones that stayed up in the top parts of the Sky Titan lands after they won their war with the big old Sky Titans. Come on then, lads. The Cathayans are keen on not moving towards us. Hang on now, we might have picked the Hornet Nest. Here come the Peasant Archers, they're all in one big blob. You are very lucky we have no magic. We's Ogre mates. That blob is going to make things easier for us to deal with, I think. Keep moving up. We'll send the Ogres into that gulch. The Noblars will just keep moving up the side here. How far can they fire? Almost into the woods. That's where we're going to want to angle our Noblars. Kind of like this. Swarm together. You guys up on top of the hill, then we'll have these finally reveal themselves. Boss on the move. Very interesting battle strategy. Archer Spear, Archer Jade Warrior on both sides. This allows us to have our Noblars pick targets a little bit easier. Not move up too far. Mind range on the crossbows. Fire on the Noblars. Fine, because there's lots of trees in the way. Bring these ogres up. About time to start picking targets for the Noblars. Alright, so you guys go after... If we can get them to come towards us, that'd be even better. We're rotating down the hill. Stop those Jade Warriors, and then the Long Spearmen. Keep rotating. Now we go around as well. We'll leave these ogres here. They're gonna all file on out. They can start taking some damage, which is fine. A lot of damage. Come on, Noblars. You round. You guys just kind of keep those Jade Warriors confused. You smash in there, and you go after those archers. These ogres rotating around, just kind of pull them through, and we'll have you guys help out. The Tyrant should actually have some armor piercing. There we go. Noblars are giving up. We'll pull the Ogre Bulls away. Might just not have the armor killing capabilities here. Yacht around. Let's see if we can't take down this Magister, because it looks like our Noblars aren't going to be willing to fight for very long. They'll come back, though, so that's not too big of an issue. March on in and crack them. These Ogre Bulls charge back out as well. Yeah, the Noblars are fleeing. Which is to be expected, they are just Noblars. Keep moving their Ogres. Most of our strength is going to come from actually just being able to crash around as a big old blob, so let's bring them back over. Halberdiers are dealt with. Welcome back, Noblars. We're gonna dismember this whole group here, that way we can just kind of keep crashing in where we want to. Go ahead and hit these long spears here. Noblars engage and the Ogre Bulls come on out. Noblars, you guys go after those long spears. Perfect. All these Ogre Bulls are crashing in, but I really don't want them to, so come on, away. Come on, lads. Noblars are in charge of fighting here. The weakened Ogre Bulls, let's have them get back in the spirit of dealing with those fools. Crunch the Cathayans. Bring these guys on in. Round the enemy lines. Have our Tyrant go deal with the enemy general, who is now fully exposed and is going to die. Horribly. Oh, they're gonna get in each other's way. Come on through. Gonna get shot up too much there. Just need to deal with their infantry, and that's gonna be a game over for the Cathayans. Magister looks to be excellent. And got sent into orbit. Blood on the snow. I see lots of scared Cathayans. Those Jade Warrior crossbows are actually going to be pretty decent at holding the line. Let's have you come through and try to engage those Jade Warriors. Keep rampaging over here. Scaring off the Magister is going to be pretty important. Simply because of the amount of armor these guys have left. Our ogres are starting to get broken. We're looking great for a moment. Hit this member in the middle of... It's not letting me free select it. Got quite a few of the units there. Grab the ogres and draw them out. Try to get repositioned here. They're gone. Try to break him as well. That way we're only having to deal with leadership on a few more of these peasants.
Guts out, boys! Off we go!
Smash these crossbows that are in the middle here. More of them that are fleeing, the higher chances we have. Alright, the Magister's done. And that's the rest of them. Beautiful stuff. We turned the battle all the way around from decisive defeat to a victory. I chased down as many of these caravan runners as we can, and I'll catch you in a moment. In a pretty close battle, but we managed to secure the win, at least to plunder this cart. We're gonna go ahead and probably needs to process meat, but I think ransoming the captives for a bit more gold is gonna be the way to go here this early.
No threat to me.
No threat to me. Groundbreaker now after fighting the Cathayans. And poor Chow has been slain. I'm just gonna have Kevin turn around and drop his units back off in Grimtop. We'll have performed marvelously, and we'll have him go in a march dance right to the other side of the Great Hall.
Don't argue.
Don't argue. Perfect. With that victory over Cathay, I have been Space Wizard Total War. I remember to do the like for the light god and a sub for the sub zone. See you on the next one.